Hi guys, Paul here, Paul Phillips Fix. Thanks for tuning in. Before I go on with anything, please give me a like and subscribe. It shows YouTube somebody's watching. I would greatly appreciate that. It helps to support the channel. And for my subscribers that have been there, thank you. We broke the 3,000 mark. I greatly appreciate that. Today I'm going to be doing an oil change on a 02 E320 Mercedes W210 platform. This is the easiest way that I know of how to change the oil on one of these. I do not have to jack up the car, put it on ramps, or get underneath it. I'm going to be using an evacuator pump to suck it out through the fill tube on the dipstick. So let me show you the pump I'm going to use. I'll put links for all this stuff in my video. I'm an Amazon affiliate. At no added cost to you, Amazon will kick back a little bit to help to support the channel, so it doesn't add any cost to you if you utilize those links. Thank you, and sorry about the dog barking. Saber, be easy. So this is a 7-liter vacuum pump. Just hook this hose up. It comes with an assortment of different size hoses. There's an O-ring here that seals that. I have a longer hose. I'm going to be putting down a dipstick tube, and we're going to suck the oil out. The dipstick, where the dipstick tube goes, is the lowest point in the oil pan, so you will get all the oil out. You're just going to have to pop the engine cover off. It's just on a couple of rubber grommets. Lift straight up. And that comes off, and then you have access to the oil filter. I will put links for the proper filter wrench that you use to get that off. First thing I'm going to do is make sure I can loosen that. I torqued it down to proper torque, but always be safe before you drain the oil out of your engine. Saber, enough! Loosen right up. You're going to need a set of pick tools because you're going to have some O-rings to change here when you change the filter out. If your air filter is due for service, there's just a few clips over here. I'll show you where they are. There's a few clips here, 3 on this side and 3 on the other side. You unclip those and you can get to the air filter. There's also 2 clips here, one on top, one on the bottom. Get a screwdriver under there and pop those, and you can take the air filter cover off. So I'm not going to open that filter housing now until I'm ready to drop the new filter in, because I don't want any debris getting in there. Make sure your hose is clean. I warmed this engine up for about 10 or 12 minutes till it got to normal operating temperature. That makes the oil flow easier out of it. These hoses fit together snugly. And now I just have to pump this until all the oil comes out. Have an empty container on hand, because sometimes you will exceed the capacity of this, as it only holds 7 liters. Some of them are 5 liters. You're better off getting a larger one. So no big deal pumping this. A lot easier than jumping under the car, taking the underbody panels off, and all the other crap you got to go through to get the oil drain plug out. So I'm going to pump the oil out of here, and then we'll do the filter change after that. This is going to be a short, simple video. That oil's flowing. You don't have to pump like crazy either. Just keep a mild vacuum on there. Takes a few minutes, but I prefer this method. I think once you do it this way, you won't be changing your oil by crawling under the car anymore. Especially in cold, lousy weather. And you don't get all filthy. So I'm going to pause the video and pause my sound. Guys, I want to give a shout out for a new station that Wendy is starting. It's going to be Art Fancy Imaging. That's Art Fancy Imaging on YouTube. There's not any content up there yet, really, but there will be. I'm going to be helping her out with that, and we're going to be doing stuff on photography, videography, camera equipment, lenses. I had made a video on my station about a LUMIX S5 that I had purchased, and I had an issue with the 85mm lens with that. The focus ring kept seizing up on it. I'm not going to go for imperfections on a damn near $2,000 camera, so I returned that to Amazon. Thankfully, they were gracious enough to accept the return, and now I went and spent more money on a LUMIX S5 Mach 2 X. I got the X version because that will enable me to film in ProRes as well as Blackmagic RAW. I have the Blackmagic Video Assist 7-inch 12G monitor on my rig that I built with a tilter cage and a tilter handle, the tilter advanced focus ring, advanced focus handle for it automatically moves the focus ring. I'll show you all of that on a build, and we'll do a full list of that if you're into photography or videography. Right now, I'm filming on an older DSLR camera. It's a Nikon D7500. I have a 18 to 35 mil wide angle lens on here. And I'm hoping that the autofocus is working okay with this. This camera is not the greatest on the autofocus. So let me pause this. This is boring. I know you don't want to watch this. We'll be back. Okay guys, this is getting close to being done. One thing I wanted to mention that I forgot to mention before. When you start doing this, loosen your oil filler cap. Just cock it a little bit so air can get into the engine. Make the oil come out easier. You don't want to air lock it. One thing I wanted to talk to you about. Manufacturer's recommendations. People go on with me about the manufacturer recommends this, the manufacturer recommends that. The manufacturer's job is to sell cars. They're in the business of selling cars. They do not want your vehicle to last you forever. They would put themselves out of business. Do not go by the recommended oil change intervals if you want to take really good care of your engines. This Mercedes 10,000 mile oil recommendation service. I do mine at 6,000 miles. I only run 040 full synthetic oil in it. Mobil 1 is the oil of my preference. I have ran Castrol in there as well. I think I have some Liqui Moly I may run in there. But they're all full synthetic, good quality brand oils. You're better off running the full synthetic Walmart brand it doesn't come in 040 though, I don't think, than running regular dinosaur oil in your engine. Full synthetics are the way to go. And do your oil changes more frequently. What is it to spend 40 bucks on oil and an hour and a half of your time to save you the headache and expense of having to get a new engine? You know, just common sense there. So a lot of contaminants get in the oil from blow-by from the piston rings. The synthetic oils are great, but just my personal preference, why push it? You know, if you want to go on a 10,000 mile oil change, send your oil out to be tested and see how it looks. I haven't done that, but I know every car I've owned since I was a teenager, I have done more frequent oil changes on my vehicles than was recommended by the manufacturer. And I have, knock on wood, are these dogs. Stop it! Stop it! Saber! Saber! Hey! Stop that. Stop freaking out. Sorry about that. My dogs get excited when they see another dog. Good girl, Saber. She's a blackmouth cur Rhodesian Ridgeback mix, and she wants to eat every other dog. And kids on bikes. As far as transmission services go, I usually service my transmission every 30 to 40,000 miles. I like Lucas Transfix. I add to my transmission fluid. I found an improvement in shifting with that. That's Lucas Transfix. I'll post these things in a video if I can remember. I'm old and senile now, so sometimes it slips my mind. What else did I want to mention? Oh, instead of buying Mercedes transmission fluid, which is really ridiculously priced, Mercedes Benz does not own their own oil refineries that make these oils. They're buying them from other companies. So I've done research, and what I've been using is Shell ATF 134, I think it is, or 123. Shell 134, I think it is. I'll post it in a video. I won't be mistaken when I put the post up, believe me. I'm not going to give you the wrong oil, but it meets all the requirements for the 7.2, 726.762. I can't remember these numbers, man. I'm trying to remember the transmission number, model number. 722.6 transmission. 722.6 transmission. That's it. M112 engine, the V6. M113 is the V8. If I don't use this information frequently, it gets buried in the sauce in my head. It's all in there, but it's just hard to recall it now. You'll see as you get older, you'll see. I already dumped some oil out of this. This does not have the capacity to hold all the oil that this engine holds. More oil is better. I'm glad this doesn't run 5 or 6 quarts of oil in it. We got to be getting near the end now. Are we done? No, almost. Still coming. Still coming. Now I'm having an afterthought. Did I check to make sure that I was recording in 4K video? Because that's what I wanted to do. I usually use my GoPros, but I've gotten sick of them. I'm trying to improve the quality of the content on the station and the videography. So that's why I need your support, guys. I broke myself with camera equipment. I'm in debt now, and I don't like it. Don't think that you make a load of money off a YouTube channel. It took me forever to get 1,000 subscribers where I could even monetize. And sometimes that comes to $30, $40 in a month. So, guys that are making the money are the guys that got 200-300 subscribers, and they're also getting sponsored and doing videos that are infomercials instead of regular videos. Alright, that's it, guys. We're sucking air. I'm going to put this hose up to drain out. I'll dump that after. Now we're going to do the filter. Put your dipstick back in so dirt doesn't get near. I'll show you. It's empty. Nothing on the dipstick at all. It does get all the oil out that way. I just dipped the dipstick down in there, so you'll have to trust me. So you just unscrew this and drip a little bit of oil here, guys. Cover that up with a rag so nothing gets in there while you have this part. I have to make room on my work table here, my garbage can. Mic check, mic check. Flip you around here. When you're adding oil to your engine, be careful with that aluminum on the top of the oil, that none of that goes into your oil and winds up in your engine. You could wind up blowing your engine up. Sometimes there's little strips of plastic that remain on there. I love these Wix filters. These are Wix XP. The number for this car is 51226XP. That's 51226XP. They're all metal construction. Nice element on there. And that's from XP brand, Wix brand. I'm really fond of these, and they're made for full synthetic oils. So that is the filter of my preference. I also use Mobil 1 filters, and I've used K&N filters as well. I have to go get a rag, guys. I'll be right back. So you can get rid of your filter element. That comes off into the garbage. Now the O-rings. It definitely pays to have a nice pick set around. Make it a lot easier to get these O-rings off. There are 4 O-rings, one at the top, one in here in the middle, and 2 at the lower end. Pick makes it a hell of a lot easier to get these off. Change your O-rings, guys. They get hard. They can break off. And again, winding up, going into your oil pump and screw your whole engine up. That's why they give you the new O-rings with the filter set. Sometimes I'll hold on to these old rings if I need them for some other weirdness, not for an engine. But sometimes I need some oddball O-ring sizes that I don't have in my kit. I've got metric and SAE O-ring set kit. Gonna want to wipe a little oil on these O-rings before you reinstall this housing, especially on the top one. Sure your hands are nice and clean. You don't want any grit or grime on there. Oh, too bad. They don't give you pretty colors. I'll wipe a little oil on this. Just using the back of my pick to not damage it. They always give me an extra O-ring in here. This must be made for two different model cars. Making sure that's the same diameter. I don't know if they have slight difference in diameter on the O-ring. I hope that I am recording. Yes, I'm recording. Okay. I am really amazed that my neighbor did not come over, because he loves to come over and start yapping at me when I'm making a video. It's the first time he hasn't come over, which is unusual. He must be very busy. I'm opening up my oil now. Be sure to remove all of that aluminum foil and plastic. Sure my fingers are nice and clean. This has no top or bottom. I see no difference in the sides of it. gonna put a little oil on the O-rings in there. It's got O-rings on the top and bottom of the filter. I'll oil them a little bit as well. Pops in. Forget to oil your top O-ring. You don't want to put that on dry because you will definitely have a hard time getting your top back off. Putting a little oil on all of them. And now you gotta wait for me to dry my hands off before I move the camera. I will give you the torque setting for that in both Newton meters and inch or foot-pounds. I have done this quite a few times. I go by feel now.
What are you doing to that car?
There goes the neighbor I was telling you about. I was just talking to the people on YouTube about you. Yeah.
I bet you're telling them bad stuff.
No, I said, I don't know where my neighbor is. He always shows up every time I'm doing a video, and this time he didn't show up. I'm checking to see if I put my O-ring in the wrong spot here. That feels like it's going on tight.
A few papers for you. I threw some out
Thanks.
the other day. I would have had more.
Actually, you don't even need to worry about them because Wendy told me she gets them from her job.
Yeah, take them too. They're good, you know. Hey, geez, you could have mine all the time.
Yeah, I'm in the right groove.
Hi, Betsy. You're getting fat, you know?
Yeah, she is getting fat.
You're getting too fat. Aren't you? Yes. She don't want me to stop petting her. I stop petting her, she grabs my hand and shakes it up over her head. She likes to get pet. I'm glad your sister ran out there. She'd take my hand off. She's mean. Huh? Your sister's mean.
It's as tight as it's going, guys. I think the torque setting is right on here. 25 Newton meters. 25 Newton meters is the torque setting. You can convert that on Google for inch-pounds or foot-pounds if you need to. So,
What's that? A piece of plastic down there.
oh, that was from the headlights I put in.
Oh,
Thanks.
hey, good thing I found it. You might have blew your engine up with that in there.
I'll blow my engine up if I forget to put the oil in it.
I just changed the oil on my snowblower just now.
I did mine too. Both of them.
I had it a little over full. I put synthetic in it.
Better off.
I had about a quarter of a quart of conventional oil. I put that in there and I topped it off with synthetic.
Yep.
I don't think it'll hurt it.
When you go to pour oil, everybody pours oil that way. That's not the way. Go from the side or this way. It pours better.
Where's your funnel? You didn't even get a funnel.
I don't need a funnel.
Yeah, look at you spilling it all over.
Spilling? I didn't spill a drop. I didn't spill one drop. I spilt a little bit. Oh, this engine's gonna be so happy. So happy to be bathed in brand new oil. Oh, like a luxury sauna bath. I get it all out. Let it drip. I forget whether this is 7 liters Let me check right now. I think it's 7 liters. Oil capacity, Mercedes M112 engine. Seven to 7.5 liters. You do not want to overfill your engine with oil either. That is bad. You can cause foaming, which could lead to catastrophic engine failure. I'm going to kick it over. Get the engine up into all the oil up into all the galleries. See where we're at on the dipstick. I could add a little bit more. Liberty, Liberty, Saber, Saber, hey, Saber, be easy, 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 be nice, easy, Saber, Saber, be nice. I gotta stop this dog. I'm afraid this dog is gonna get a hold of another dog and kill it. Such a sweet, sweet dog, but boy, when it comes to protecting the house and other dogs, I give her stuff that would take another dog an hour to get through chewing. She smashes it up in like 2 minutes. It's about 7.5 liters. Let me just kick the car over and see where the oil level's at afterwards. Everything's clear.